90 seconds of video will be key in trial of Kimberly Potter. The officer who killed Daunte Wright. The shooting appears to be the result of Officer Kimberly Potter, 49, mistaking her gun for a stun gun, and happened in Brooklyn Center, a few miles from Minneapolis, during the trial against Derek Chauvin for killing George Floyd. The town's police chief shared some video less than 24 hours after the shooting. To be transparent. In the body camera footage, Potter can be heard yelling, "Taser," repeatedly before she shoots Wright, 20. After firing her handgun, she yells, "Holy S*********. I just shot him." Video footage has also played a crucial role in recent high-profile homicide cases, resulting in guilty verdict against Chauvin, not guilty verdicts against Kyle Rittenhouse for shooting 3 people during unrest last year, and guilty verdicts in the case of 3 men accused of killing Ahmaud Arbery in Georgia.
Potter was originally charged with second-degree manslaughter in April, and prosecutors added a first-degree manslaughter charge in early September. She faces at least a decade in prison if convicted. Jury selection began Tuesday at the Hennepin County Government Center in Minneapolis, with opening arguments scheduled for December 8. Defense attorney Pauling told a prospective juror that Potter will testify. In a filing last month, Potter's attorneys said they might assert her gun use was an innocent mistake, an accident, and that the use of the taser was reasonable. While mistaking a handgun for a taser is rare and central to the manslaughter charges against Potter, other aspects of the interaction are likely to come under scrutiny during the trial. But the 90 seconds the city released raised red flags, not just because of the confusion over the gun but for how the interaction unfolded before Potter drew her gun on Wright, who was the subject of an arrest warrant. The video suggests deficiencies in the training requirements and professional standards for officers in the department, with small failures cascading until Potter shot Wright. "It was catastrophic in a couple ways," said Gerald Tucano, a use of force and training expert. "Weapons confusion is a single catastrophic incident. The accumulation of small errors is catastrophic in totality. Both occurred in the same instance. The state agency investigating the case hasn't released any information about its criminal investigation." A spokesperson for the state's Department of Public Safety didn't respond to a request for comment. When the police chief released the video, he said the state agency didn't condone the release. Attorneys for the officer declined to comment for this story. City officials haven't released any information about any internal investigation, which would not just look at the mistaken use of the taser but any other rules violations uncovered during the investigation. Brooklyn Center officials haven't released body-worn or dash-mounted camera videos that might offer other viewpoints of the interaction that would help investigators determine whether the move to draw a taser was within police department policy. It's not clear whether other body-worn camera footage exists. City officials declined to comment. What we know about the traffic stop: Wright was with driving on a Sunday afternoon in April when police pulled him over for an expired tag, police said. During the stop, officers learned he had an outstanding warrant and attempted to arrest him. Video shows a male officer, whose name hasn't been released, approaching a car ahead of Potter, and a second officer approached the car on the passenger side. Potter said have him step out, and the male officer in front asks Wright to step out of the car. The officers approached the car in a standard way for traffic stops, according to experts. One officer contacts the driver and is supposed to lead the interaction, while another on the passenger side keeps an eye on other occupants and the surroundings. Potter is behind the lead officer, on the driver's side. Potter appears to say have him step out, and another officer says do me a favor and step out of the car. The sound of passing traffic and the poor playback quality of the video released make it difficult to hear any other parts of the conversation between Wright and the male officer. One of the officers says Wright is under arrest, Potter says you have a warrant, and one of the officers repeats that Wright has a warrant. The officer got Wright out of the car, so he had compliance. Got his hands behind his back, but didn't fully position the suspect before going through applications to cuffs. Mechanics of cuffs, Takano said. Unholstering and putting them on, how to take out, how to grip, what order, should only take about 2 seconds from first touching of hand to first cuff to second cuff done. While the officer had Wright standing, the movement to get him cuffed was not swift or fast. Standard practice is to position someone for arrest first, then handcuff them, then search them for weapons. Experts said didn't do that. He kind of has hands behind his back, almost searching around the waist, Takano said. That's not best practice. John Bloom, a use of force expert, said it appeared the officer wasn't sure of himself. Officers are taught that when they put their hands on someone to be firm, because it communicates the seriousness of the interaction. Hands behind the back, do not move. Cuffs in hand, boom, boom on. Done and over with, he said. Obviously he didn't have a good grip, broke away pretty quick, didn't seem like he was in control of what was going on, lacked confidence, and didn't do it the way he should have. It doesn't excuse. But he could have done better, absolutely. Once Wright started wrestling away, uncuffed, Potter moved in closer. Potter's hands are both empty the first time they appear on video, but after she reaches in toward Wright, one hand emerges with a piece of paper. One stiffens up and shows he's non-compliant, and there's another officer there. That person's job is to move in immediately. 2 officers with hands on the person. She didn't grab him. I don't understand why she did not grab him, Takano said. It's baffling to me. She's holding the piece of paper while is struggling. She's not doing much while the other officer is trying to get control of Mr. Wright while he's trying to get back into the car, Takano said. The importance of quickly cuffing someone is that making decisions become more difficult under threat than when there's less or no threat, experts said. Quick custody of someone under arrest lowers the risk that any situation will arise to one where an officer uses force. The level of resistance was not clear.
Thank you for watching. Please subscribe